Hello, everyone. This is Dr. and Master Rulin, and on the weekly Tao Science Facebook Live events, I'm so delighted to have this opportunity to talk with you and share with you something about the wisdom of Tao Science. So welcome. So I saw Tim Riley is just joined us, and so anybody have any questions? Na Pai, and they just joined us. Thank you, Nai. Hello. And Candy, Debria, and Natalie just joined us. Natalie Dabbury, I think that's what it's called. So wonderful to see you, to join me on this live event. So today, today we have all experienced amazing events, the solar eclipse. So this is a great event in the Chinese astronomy. This is like one of the greatest events. In Chinese astronomers, they put a lot of efforts to calculate what the time of the solar eclipse, and they made amazing calendars for predicting such events, and because it has a great significance. And also today I want to share with you about the wisdom about light and darkness. And it's so important to know about this wisdom. This actually holds one of the key for you to go from, to the enlightenment. So what is darkness and what is light? What is good and evil? What is enlightenment and suffering? And of course, this kind of thing, Buddha, and has been searched for a long time. And some people, I remember recently somebody talked about movies, that the movie explores whether the goodness or evil will prevail, will succeed. So some of you might want to know, what is Tao Science point of view on this? So one of the law in the Tao Science is the law of Tao yin-yang creation. So Tao is the source. Tao is emptiness. And in the Tao Science, we just in last class, we just learned we can actually calculate the Shen Qi Jing, the soul, heart, mind, and body, energy and matter of the Tao from its wave function. And it will show Tao has infinite big vibrational field, has infinite large soul and infinite heart, infinite mind, and infinite energy and matter. So Tao is connected with everyone, and Tao is within everyone. So Tao has complete positive information. But in this world we manifest, the creation takes the yin-yang pair. The yin-yang pair to manifest always takes yin-yang pair. The yin-yang pair is good and bad, the light and dark, right? The joy and suffering, So those are yin-yang pairs in the feminine and masculine, the hands and feet, left and right, left hand and right hand. So these are yin-yang pairs. And yin-yang pair, they have inequality. The yin-yang pair, they always come together. You cannot, have the right without left, right? It's always their comparison with each other. So when you have right, you have left. You have up, there's down. They always come together. You cannot have only up without down, right? And you cannot just have easy without difficult, because you're always comparing difficulty with the easy. You say something difficult because you're comparing something you think is easy. So it's really difficult and easy, they come always together. Left and right is always come together. And space and time is always come together. And so in the Tao science, space and time is a yin-yang pair. So the dark and light is a yin-yang pair. They always come together. And the suffering and joy comes together as well. So they rely on each other. They're co-created, yeah, and their interaction between them and create and manifest and create the material world, the physical world we experience and we observe. And remember that yin-yang symbol in Chinese, symbols. The yin always, dark always go back to the light, and light always go back dark. So the yin-yang, they always changing. There's no, they always change. There's no point to stop. So the dark will change the light, light will change dark. In the day, change to night, night come back to the day. They're always changing. They're never going to stop. So like we said, change is the only constant. So in the yin-yang world, it's always going to change. There's nothing is going. The yin-yang, they're always going to change. There's no point to stop. So it is like a wave. It's always change from the top of the wave go to the bottom, and bottom goes up, and it's always changing. The top to down, down to up, and top down, top to up. It's always changing. So you cannot expect, I only want light. I don't want to have darkness. I only want left. I don't want right. Or I only want right. I don't want left. I only want to have joy. I don't want to have, sometimes have a little bit downtime. That's not natural law. So this is the yin-yang world. So in the yin-yang world, yin-yang always exists, and they always, changing from one to the other, and they always oscillate. So when we are successful, remember the difficult time might come. Yes? And you prepare for the difficult time. And when you're a difficult time, you have challenge, remember the opportunity is right there with you. The success is just around the corner. They always come hand in hand. Success, like Master Sha said, success and disaster always come hands in hand. One cannot come without the other. So if you only want one thing without the other, it's not, in this yin-yang world, it's not possible. So always remember that, to recognize there's always yin-yang in everything, everyone. And the darkness and light always come together. When there's darkness, it's for you to realize the light is just behind. And there is light, and remember there's always darkness as well. They always come hands in hands. So when you realize both are existing, everyone and everything, and this yin-yang is existing everyone and everything, and you realize your true nature is beyond either good and bad. You are the Tao. Tao includes everything. Tao includes everything. Tao does not judge what is good and what is bad, what is left and what is right. Tao includes both left and right, but Tao treats everyone and everything equally. Tao recognizes everyone, everything exists, and honor, respect everyone and everything. So honor, respect everyone, everything, every moment. And see the secretness and divinity in everyone and everything, in the dark and light. The secretness in the day and night, right? We need the night as well, right? So that we can rest, so that we can connect with heaven and actually, sleep is one of the best way, one of the way for normal people to be able to connect with the heaven and with their soul and with the divine and Tao. That's why normal people need sleep. For some advanced masters, they were able to use their meditation time to connect with heaven and to connect with divine and Tao. So that's why they don't need to sleep. And actually some of them don't even need to eat or even drink water, because they can directly absorb the nutrients. So normal people, they don't know how to do it, so they need sleep. When they sleep, their mind is at rest, and then they can connect with their own soul and with the heaven and earth, and to get such a nourishment they normally, when they're not sleeping, they cannot receive. So we need day and night. We need both. So why judge? Why say I only want joy? Why say I only want day, I don't want night? I don't have light without darkness. Darkness plays an amazing role. That's why our own blockage, our own challenge, difficulties in our life is the greatest way to help us to see where we can, improve and go to the next level. To see the sacredness and divinity in everyone and everything, and embrace everyone and everything, and then go beyond. So recognize there's space and time, but go beyond that. And then you go back to Tao. Recognize there is light and darkness within you, and go beyond that, because you are beyond. You are divine and Tao. Tao includes everyone, everything. So give the honor, respect to everyone and everything, because it's all, created together from the source. In fact, we created it all. Like Lao Tzu in his book said, you cannot only have beauty without ugliness. You cannot just have ugliness without beauty. They're all created together. When you can go beyond the yin-yang, then you can reach the eternity. Yes. So this is what we're going to teach in the Tao Science course. You're going to learn deeper into this, understanding the deep, profound wisdom of yin yang, and then learn the way how to go beyond the yin yang. Then you can reach the final ultimate enlightenment. So, but to go into the final enlightenment, you need to know yin and yang exist in everyone and everything. You will learn how to use yin yang because yin yang creates everyone and everything. So you need to learn the code of the yin yang so that you can create, you have the amazing creation power, you can create anything you need. Because without knowing how to use the code of yin yang, you cannot create. You have to learn the art, the science, the wisdom of yin yang so that you can become amazing creator. And then also go beyond yin yang so you can reach the final enlightenment and immortality. And go beyond all the natural laws. It is going through all the yin yang, you go beyond all the natural laws. Like no law can hold you anymore. If you want to reach final freedom, ultimate freedom, you need to go beyond the yin yang. So that is what we're going to teach in the Tao Science in the a later class. But to go to that class, you have to learn now, because you have to have foundation. And then now what we're learning about what is divine, what is Tao, and how, what is a mathematic definition of divine and Tao in the Tao Science. It's just so enlightening. It's so enlightening. What is a mathematic definition for love, for service? Because this is an objective way to define it. Because everybody have their own, thinking what is love. And somebody's definition of love could actually lead them in love in the wrong way. And I literally see people, the more they love, the more suffering they have. But if you really know how to love and what is really love, you can generate so much abundance and so much, bring so much love to yourself and to others. It is truly like, to understand what is the highest way to love, and to truly understand what it is. People always talk about love, 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 and service. I literally see people, they talk about service, they actually do the negative of service. See, they're working so hard to serve, and they gain more and more negative karma. Literally, I saw people lose so much virtue actually by serving, because they don't know what is even service. If you don't know what is really a service, you could, because the ignorance, you can do negative things. Literally, I see this all the time, and that's why I'm so passionate about teaching Tao Science. It's so important. It's so important. It can save you so much time. So much time. Countless lifetimes. Because you're in the wrong way. No matter how many lifetimes you serve, it doesn't matter. Because you're doing the negative. To learn the wisdom is the most important. That's why all the saints, the Buddhas, they are after the wisdom. And the Tao Science bring all of the wisdom together in a much, in a so clear way, in such an amazing level. It is just beyond my comprehension. We're so honored. We're so blessed. This is now finally available to humanity. whenever I think of this honor, think of this blessing for us to learn Tao Science, the tears will come to my eyes. So I have taught to you the yin yang. Yin yang is relative. In Tao Science, it's called relative good and bad, right? Because they're relative. Left and right is only relative. Up and down is only relative. If I stand it the other way, the up and down will look different. So they're all relative and they're temporary, and they can change they're always changing from one to the other. There's no standing point. It's not going to be stopped. If you only want to have yin without yang, you only want to have up and without down, it's not possible. So they're relative. But also in Tao Science, we can define an absolute good and absolute bad, absolute positive and absolute negative. And absolute positive, absolute good, always going to win. And absolute bad and an absolute negative, they're always going to lose, no matter what. So there's two kinds of good and bad. Relative good and bad, and absolute good and bad. So relative good and bad is our own judgment, left and right, up and down, it's our own judgment. And this kind of thing, they are always going to change, constantly changing without, change. They're always going to change. They're not going to stop, just have, one. But, they're, none of them are going to win over the other. One will change into the other will change back to the other. So they're always just going to changing, kind of like this yin yang symbol, they just keep coming, or like day and night, they come, day will change to night, night will change to day, day and change night, and change to day, so they're always just going to change. So that is relative good and bad. But there's absolute good and bad. In the absolute good and bad, and the good will always win, and the bad will always lose. So what is absolute good? What is absolute positive? So if some of you have taken class, I will give you that a quiz. What is that? I hope you know. I'm sure some of you know. So that is a positive information, right? So positive information measures the connection and order within ourselves. And the more order and connection we have within ourselves and with others, then the more power we'll have, the more wisdom we'll have, the more health we'll have, the longer we will live, right? And the negative information, so the absolute negative, absolute bad is negative information. Negative information measures the disconnection and the disorder within ourselves. So if we are disconnected with each other, we have more disconnection with others, then the less power we'll have, less wisdom we'll have, more suffering, more sickness, more challenge, and difficulties we'll have. So this is an absolute negative, absolute bad. The absolute bad is always going to fail, and the absolute good always going to prevail. Okay, so this is my class, my teaching for you today. So recognize the yin yang in everything, and then go beyond, and recognize and utilize the power of yin yang in everyone and everything, and then go beyond that. And always cultivate the absolute positive, always trying to enhance your connection and order with divine and Tao. Then you will have internal bliss, internal abundance, internal wisdom, joy, and the love. And internal ultimate power, freedom, enlightenment. And one more teaching. I just thought of one Buddha was telling me. So Buddha once say, there's one saying Buddha always say is suffering is enlightenment. Why is that? It is through the suffering we reach the enlightenment. So suffering and enlightenment is an yin-yang pair. If without suffering, you don't want enlightenment, right? So when you're in suffering, you realize you want enlightenment, and you will see through, and you will know the truth, and then you reach the enlightenment. So they are a yin-yang pair. So suffering and enlightenment is one. So suffering is enlightenment. You cannot have enlightenment without suffering. We cannot have suffering without enlightenment. So welcome the suffering, welcome the blockage. Recognize it, embrace it. Welcome, embrace the darkness. And then there will be more light. So that light will come. Embrace everything, embrace everyone and everything. See the sacredness and divinity and Tao in everyone and everything. So I'm so honored to be here with you today. And I hope you, please, if some of you have not registered for the Tao Science course, please register. Please register. No matter what your conditions are, I know some of you have financial difficulties, but that is not excuse. You can put up the money. It's definitely worth it. It's going to save you millions of lifetimes, maybe much more. There's no excuse you don't take this class. Please take it. And also tell all your friends and family to take it. And this course actually is specifically designed for the students in the mission. So unless you think your friends and relatives, they're very advanced, can understand to be a level, but normally right now I only recommend for the students in the mission. They have, have the foundation of Master Sha's teaching. So this is course specifically designed for each one of you and for advanced, students like you. For you already had a good foundation in the spiritual practice, and you already have been searching. You're already enlightened enough, really persistent, have this wisdom. I want to give you my greatest love and the greatest light to you, and to share this greatest love and light with you, as well as darkness. And your darkness, I send my light, and I see the greatest growth in that. Opportunity for you to grow. We all have to go through that to reach more light. So it's only normal. Let's help each other every moment and see the sacredness and divinity in everyone and everything, whether it's dark or light. Thank you so much. And I love you, love you, love you. I want to give a final blessing, and my blessing just to show my gratitude and love for you. And just close our eyes. Give our greatest gratitude to Tao Science, to all the saints, Buddhas, masters of the Tao Science. Thank you for being here with me to celebrate both the dark and the light. Let's become more connected. Let's build our connection. Have great love, compassion for each other. I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me. Bye.